Hi guys, greetings to you all, and once again we are welcome to the Stratford Africa channel. This is your mass reaction video to the Tottenham Hotspur game. Tottenham Hotspur 1, Manchester United 3. That is the scoreline from the game. It was a game we won coming back from behind once again. I must say it was a great performance from the lads. They really played well. There's numerous good performances all over the pitch, from the goalkeeper to the last man. Everybody was up and they played well. From the start, as usual, we didn't start well, and we got some bad decisions not going our way. To have our legit goal disallowed and then go in and concede the first goal, to go into halftime having had our goal disallowed and having conceded, and then come back in the second half 1-0 down, then to respond and play the way we did and going on to win the game. I think the last really deserved an applause for that. No wonder we are the only team to have won about 28 points from losing positions in the league. That is a really good start. The manager and the lads are building a very strong mentality, which is going to be key for us moving forward. So the lads deserve some great applause there. And then moving on, I think we can't do this video without talking about our disallowed goal. That goal, in my opinion, and in a lot of people's opinion, it was a right goal. It was a legit goal, because that touch on Stan's face wasn't intentional. We understand it was not an intentional touch. McTominay didn't just intentionally try to hit him. It was part of his natural movement. And if you watch the video back again, you realize that Stan was trying to get hold of him. And it's a natural thing for players to do. When somebody is trying to hold you, you are also trying to get them off you and move with the ball. So in his quest to do that, he landed a touch on his face, and then the guy fell down. He was rolling like he was hit by a train. Then VAR came in and did what VAR always does. But then in the same game, Rashford was hit in his face by Lo Celso in Spurs' 18-yard box, but nobody even reviewed that incident. So how then do you ignore that one and then come back to cancel our goal based on a similar incident? You understand? So it's not the best at all, because I can't for the life of me even think how this goal stood, and then how this goal got cancelled, and the goal we consider against West Bromwich Albion earlier in the league stood. The one the guy slapped Lindelof's face and headed the ball in. It was a clear foul, but VAR said it was a clean goal. And the pundits was on TV saying that Lindelof was too soft. So here it wasn't Son being too soft. You understand? So the problem in the league is the officiating. And I went on Twitter and I saw Ferdinand put a tweet out that at this rate VAR should be scrapped. VAR is a shambles, a blah and a lot of things. But for me, I disagree with that opinion, because VAR is not the one making the decision. VAR is just a technology. You understand? Those sitting behind the technology, those sitting behind the screens, and the official on the pitch taking the decisions, they are the problem and not the technology. What the technology does is just present the video footages to the officials. How they interpret what they see and how they apply the laws of the game to what they see is left onto them and not onto the technology. VAR is not only used in England, but every other weekend there's a VAR controversy in England. But other leagues use it. We don't see that. You can argue that the attention the English league gets is not the same as other leagues, yes. But even in European competitions, we don't see that much of controversy when it comes to VAR. You understand? So the VAR is only exposing the incompetence of the English officials. And the English FA really have to do something about it to solve that problem. Because the earlier they do that, the better. The way the English Premier League is touted around the world as being the most competitive, the best league in the world, the most exciting league in the world, I think the officiating of that league is its biggest threat. If they don't fix that, in the near future, one league will just take them by surprise. Because these absolute shit decisions can keep on happening week in, week out. You understand? So in my opinion, the English officials are not good enough. VAR is only exposing their incompetence level. So people should stop blaming VAR and let's come together as football fans, talk about this issue, that the FA will get solutions to it. You see, and we the fans are part of the problem. Instead of us all to come collectively and advocate for a change, then we see that we don't take the conversation in that angle. We will always tagging each other. We add it to our usual banter, And then you see some people calling a team like Manchester United, VHS, as if the VAR has come to support a particular team. When you marginalize it that way, you lose the focus. Bad decisions are taken in the league week in, week out. You understand? Bournemouth is playing in the championship this season because of a wrong VAR decision. You remember that goal Sheffield United scored against Aston Villa that they didn't give them? If Aston Villa had won that game, they would have been -2 points from last season's points, and that would get them relegated because they only survived with a 1 point difference ahead of Bournemouth. So these are the things I'm talking about. So we fans, both in the UK and abroad, on social media, have to address the fundamental issue and stop tagging teams as if one team is the one gaining from all of this. You might gain today and lose tomorrow next. It's like that. The wrong decisions might favor you today, and the next day is going to come against you. So the officials really need to check themselves and change the way the decisions they take. There's too much inconsistency in their decisions. The same scenario happens, they apply the laws differently, and then the next week the same thing happens again and the decision is different. It's as if every week has its own set of rules that they use to officiate the games, and it's not like that. So the English officials needs to sit up. Yesterday we got robbed of a legit goal. Even though we came back from behind to win the game, it still hurts. You understand? How many times this season have we been at the end of bad decisions? Remember the Sheffield United game, the West Brom one I just referred to, the Everton one. Too many of them. Arsenal got about 2 or so penalties against Burnley that they didn't give them. You understand? Our game against Chelsea, we had a penalty in the second leg. In the first leg, they also had a penalty where Maguire handled Aspilicueta. All of that VAR didn't take. These are the things I'm talking about. We need to tackle the issue holistically and stop tagging adding it to our usual football banter. This is not banter. This wrong decisions is killing our league. So that being said about our disallowed goal and matters arising from it, let's move on and look a little bit deep into the performance. Yesterday, I think the game Cavani played yesterday is one of his best games he has ever played for Manchester United. Do you guys notice his movement in the box? It is elite. His movement in the box is top class. I really wish he could stay one season so that the young guys like Greenwood, Shotier and Martial them could learn off him. He's really a good out and out number 9. When he's at it, he's the best you can find in his box to box movement. His movement in the box is really what set him apart. And then Greenwood's impact also was very good. He came off the bench and he got a goal and an assist. He played really well yesterday. So he really bounced back from the bad performance he had against Granada. I hope this is a confidence booster and he's now beginning to get the goals. And let's hope he kicks on from there. So that being said, I think Pogba also played really well yesterday. There's so many contenders for man of the match from this game that I don't even know who to give it to. Pogba was also performed very well. Tottenham really came out to play a very compact system. They were very low, but Pogba really found some pockets that he manipulated very well. That helped us sustain our attacks and kept us going. So Pogba's performance also deserves a shout out. And then, so that being said, let's move straight into our player ratings. So player ratings, Dean Henderson also played very well. He made some 2 crucial saves with his leg. Yesterday, his sweeping, his shot stopping, everything was on point for him yesterday. He really had a very good game. So I'll score him a score. I'll give him an 8/10 scoreline because of those saves and the way he played in general. Our back 4 also, they were very solid. Wan-Bissaka gets a 7/10 for me, Maguire 7/10, Lindelof 7/10, and Luke Shaw also gets a 7/10 for me. They were all very solid. And in the midfield too, Fred was Fred. You know what, Fred? And yesterday he scored. He also played very well. Fred also gets a 7/10 score for me. Pogba gets an 8/10 score. Bruno also played very well. Bruno was superb yesterday, but because he didn't score or assist, people don't seem to talk about his performance that much. But it's not always about the goals or the assist. But yesterday he recycled the ball very well. He kept the possession. He wasn't in a rush to do anything. He just kept us going and going. So Bruno also played very well. So Bruno gets an 8/10 for me. Cavani led our line. There was James on the other wing. James didn't play yesterday. It was Rashford and Cavani up front. So Rashford really didn't play that much because he's carrying an injury. So I'll give Rashford a 6/10 score, and Cavani also gets an 8/10 score for me. I think that should be all for the player ratings. Yeah. As for man of the match, I'm confused. I don't know who to give it to. So let me know your thoughts on the comment section. There are so many candidates for man of the match. You could make a case for Greenwood for his impact off the bench, and you could equally make a case for Pogba, Cavani. Even Luke Shaw, you can give a shout out to. Fred also really worked hard, and he really played well. So I think that is all I will have to say about the game and the performance. The performance was really a very, very good one. I really hope the boys kick on from here and finish the season on a very high note. Yeah, they have to kick on and finish the season on a very high note. Move on, try and get the second place finish, and then let's get a trophy. That will be a very good confidence booster. As for Jose Mourinho and his antics, I'm not in a mood to talk about that. All he said after the game and the banter between him and Ole, let's leave that for the coaches to do their own thing. You all know what Mourinho does best. You understand? He really came into this game to play on our manager and our players' minds, just as he did in the other game where Martial didn't reacted well and got sent off. They were really hoping to get a red card in their favor yesterday, but it didn't work. Our boys came out really focused and prepared to match them in whichever way they came at us, and that is why we came up on top. And then now we have extended our lead on Leicester City. Top 4, as I said earlier, is looking very, very good. So let's all come together and support the boys and see where they finish in the season. So that being said, I think this is where we bring this video to an end. But before we go, I would like to urge you all to subscribe to the channel, like the video if you're enjoying what you are watching, share to your friends and family, and let's continue to support the community. So until we meet next time, I say have a nice time. God bless you all. Bye bye.